Climate change is no longer a faraway threat. It's knocking on our doors every day. Heat waves, floods, rising sea levels. Sounds familiar, right? Now here is a big question. Can money help fixing the climate crisis? And the answer is yes, but only if it's a smart money. Okay, so welcome to the world of green and sustainable infrastructure financing. Let's break down what RBI Deputy Governor Shri M. Rajeshwar Rao has said in his powerful address. Okay, so the welcome to this particular video on green finance for net zero goals. Before starting the video, I would like to tell you about the RBI Grade B 2025 preparation kit, and we are giving it free of cost to you guys. There are 10 PDF ebooks which is included in this particular course. You can have a quick look and you can subscribe for this preparation kit. This is completely free of cost and this will definitely help you in your examination. We have also introduced the RBI Grade B 2025 course. This is a complete course both for your phase 1 and phase 2. This is with books. You will be also getting physical books in this particular course. You can check the course highlights and you can take your decision accordingly. So in today's video, we are going to discuss about the speech and media interactions. So recently, Deputy Governor of RBI, Shri M. Rajeshwar Rao, has talked about the sustainable and green infrastructure financing for achieving a net zero. Let's start with the introduction, the need for climate responsive financing. So first, I would like to ask you from guys, do you understand the meaning of green finance? And if yes, then do let me know in the comment section, what do you mean by the term green finance? Then we'll be starting our session. What is the term green finance? So guys, we all know that Earth is getting sick day by day because of it's heating up. Ice is melting, storms are getting worse, air is getting dirty, right? So now to make Earth feel better, what we can do is we can build things like solar panels, we can build things like electric buses, rainwater harvesting, buildings and windmills, right? But to build all these things we need money, and green finance is all about obtaining finance. Okay, green finance is all about obtaining finance, but for the green projects only. So we are taking money, we are taking finance for building green projects here. Okay, now let's start with the introduction of this particular speech. So need for climate responsive financing. Sir has highlighted that climate risk and green infrastructure financing, these two things must move to the center of the policy making. So climate risk and green infrastructure financing should be there at the center of the policy making just to achieve the global net zero targets. So events like early monsoon, weather, extreme weather conditions underscores the climate change, right? And if I talk about the economic cost of climate related extreme events from 2014 to 2023, it's 2 trillion cost in 2022 and 2023 alone. Okay, it was 451 billion dollars. That's huge, right? So these disasters disproportionately are impacting the poorer nations and the communities, right? What is the investment scale required for mitigation and resilience because of these things? How can we mitigate? How can we develop a resilience? So OECD estimate here is green and sustainable infrastructure require a 3 to 5 trillion annually until 2050 in order to counteract these kind of problems. So 3 to 5 trillion dollar is annually required until 2050. Now this shift they did the demand realignment for the global capital flows, policies and institutional priorities here, right? Climate finance is fragmented, off track and over reliant on the public funds. So if you want to raise money for the climate purpose, it is over reliant on the public funds, especially in the inaccessible to developing nations. So these kind of funds is especially inaccessible to the developing nations, though developed nations के अंदर they are easily accessible, but that's not the case with the developing nations as of now. So guys, if you have any query, you can join this particular group as well. Okay, so I frequently post content related to finance and I will definitely help you resolving your queries as well. You can even post a comment in the comment section to resolve any of your queries. ग्रीन फाइनेंस एज अ नेसेसिटी एंड नॉट अ लग्जरी. तो सर यहाँ पे बोल रहे हैं कि ग्रीन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर should be a necessity and should not at all be a luxury. So sustainable infrastructure reduces the emissions and improves the resilience. Now guys, if we talk about the green finance, it can be a very important topic from your descriptive finance angle. Okay, there are high chances that you'll be getting a question from climate finance, green finance, right, ESG, BR, SRN topic like green infrastructure. So please use this particular speech. You can use terminologies from these particular speeches in your descriptive question as well. Okay, you can highlight that Shri M. Rajeshwar Rao also have stated about the importance of green infrastructure like that in your descriptive question. Definitely it will enhance the quality of your answer as well. World Bank. Every $1 invested in climate resilient infrastructure saves $4 avoided in losses. So that's a study by World Bank. $1 को अगर आप इन्वेस्ट करोगे इन द क्लाइमेट रेजिलेंट इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, इट विल डेफिनेटली सेव $4 फॉर यू गाइज इन द अवॉइडेड लॉसेस. सो व्हाट आर द बेनिफिट इफ यू आर इन्वेस्टिंग इन सस्टेनेबल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर? क्लीनर एयर, बेटर पब्लिक सर्विसेज, रिड्यूस डिजास्टर लॉसेज, फाइनेंशियल रिस्क, enhances quality of life and financial stability. However, less than 1.5% of the global AUM is aligned with the Paris climate goals. So it's still a long way to go. There's still a long way to go. Less than 1.5% of the global AUM is aligned with the Paris climate goals here. So climate financing gap over 2.5 trillion annually is the climate financing gap. So still there is a long way to go. Key challenges in the financing green infrastructure. What are some of the key challenges that are there in financing the green infrastructure? First thing is lack of clear definition and taxonomy. As of now in India, we are having a lack of clear definitions. So India's draft climate finance taxonomy proposes 4 criteria here. We are still on our way to develop that particular definitions and framework around this. So India's draft climate finance taxonomy, we have covered this particular thing in finance current affairs as well. They are proposing 4 criteria here. First is avoidance of GHG emissions. Then रिडक्शन इन दी इमर्शंस इंटेंसिटी, कि उनका इंटेंसिटी पहले तो आप अवॉइड करो, इमर्शन को नहीं अवॉइड कर पा रहे हो तो यू कैन रिड्यूस द इंटेंसिटी ऑफ दैट इमर्शन. देन adaptation measures and R&D initiatives. So these were the 4 criteria which were there in the draft finance taxonomy of India as of now. Then they have talked about the technology risk perception. So green tech is also evolving. It lacks performance history. Why? Because earlier we were not having any kind of green technology. So there is no historical data to prove it, right? So unlike traditional infra, we are already having a lot of data, but green infra, green tech is new. So we don't have the past data. That's a proper risk perception as of now people are having. High perceived risk, high pricing, limited debt access to this particular market. Early stage technologies need equity investments and first loss capital. So जो नई टेक्नोलॉजी होती है जनरली उनको equity की जरूरत होती है because they are not able to service the debt. Let's suppose मैं कोई ग्रीन प्रोजेक्ट के अंदर इन्वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ, ओके सो मान लो मैंने किसी से लोन ले लिया, अब वो प्रोजेक्ट ढंग से नहीं चल पा रहा बिकॉज इट्स न्यू, इट कैनॉट इमीडिएटली स्टार्ट जनरेटिंग रिटर्न फॉर यू गाइज, राइट? दिस इज अ ग्रीन प्रोजेक्ट, दिस इज नॉट अ commercial, pure commercial project. There is an element of green infrastructure as well in this project. So definitely the return expectation will be on the lower side as compared to the other lucrative commercial projects. So यहाँ पे equity investments की बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरत पड़ती है जो first loss capital के फॉर्म में मुझे काम आ पाए, right? Then there is problem in the data and awareness gaps. So MSMEs, unlisted companies lack awareness related to the climate risk and required reporting for that. So there is a lack of awareness as well. Disconnect exists between the climate science and the financial risk modeling. So there is still a disconnect between the climate science and financial risk modeling. Now climate is a science topic and the related finances emanating from that risk or that project is a financial topic. So there is a lack of disconnect as of now. There is a disconnect as of now between the climate science and the financial risk modeling as of now. Limited climate data understanding and access hindered decision making. तो अभी तक यहाँ पे इतना डेटा नहीं है. Because of that lack of data, there is a hindrance in the decision making as well. Next, he focused on greenwashing and lack of MRV. So need for standardized independent monitoring, reporting and verification system. So as of now, we are not having the MRV, monitoring, reporting and verification systems. Quantification of the GHG reduction must be robust to ensure the credibility and unlock the funding. So as of now, we don't have the infrastructure in place. Structural constraints. If I talk about structural constraint, then in this particular speech they have mentioned about blended finance avenues are limited. So there are limited financial avenues as well if I talk about the green infrastructure. Currency mismatch risk is also there. The global funds in the foreign currencies increases the borrower cost. Now there are global funds but in foreign currencies, so that again increases the borrower's cost. Fragmented global funds with different standards and procedures create a bottleneck here. So these are the major problems because of which India is not able to progress that much in the green infrastructure sector. Next is ecosystem enablers. So what can enable the ecosystem? What can give a quick growth to the ecosystem, to the entire green finance ecosystem? So ये वाली चीजें भी यहाँ पे speech में mentioned है. Now they have talked about the two types of enablers here. Okay, so the building block approach with two types of enabler, and you need to remember this thing. The first one is endogenous enabler. Okay, so this is internal to the financial system, and second one is exogenous, right? So this is external support mechanism as of now. So this particular approach, this particular enabler will be internal to the financial system, and the second one will be in external. So endogenous is the internal and exogenous is the external as of now. So in the first one, the internal one, climate risk data flows and gap bridging is there. MRV system needs to be developed and technical expertise you should be having. Help in the project appraisal, disbursement and monitoring. And if we talk about the external support mechanism, it can be risk capital. So we need more and more equity, which is also called as first loss capital, right? So you should be having access to concessional funding here, blended financial models combining the private and public funds. Okay, so there should be a contribution both from the public as well as private funds, that is called as blended financial models. Institutional harmonization among the DFIs, NDBs and VCs should be there, and global funds should evolve from project based support to the market wide interventions. So these things are mentioned in this particular speech here. Next, there is a discussion related to role of IT as well. So what role IT is playing here? Green bonds, sustainability linked bonds, linked loans, transition finance tools. So we have discussed about what green bonds is, sustainability bonds, sustainability linked bonds. I hope you guys remember that particular SEBI circular in which we have discussed these terminologies, and these terminologies are going to be very important for your examination this time. So there are some innovation instruments that we have already discussed in the SEBI or RBI circular. Digital tools, MRV automation, blockchain, AI for traceability and verifiability should be there. So there is a huge role of AI in the green finance as well. RBI's role, RBI will be definitely promoting the innovation via regulatory sandbox. What is regulatory sandbox? It's a platform where you can test your fintech products, right? So if I got a permission to test my product in the regulatory sandbox, I can do it with a real-time data. Okay, supports tokenization for the frictional infrastructure investment. Again, RBI's role is there in the two major things right here, and need for project repositories for vetting means checking, then investment ready green projects. Empowerment of local communities and government is vital again for grassroots climate action. So local communities, government, RBI's role, everyone should be actively involved in this particular green finance, and the role of IT is the key enabler here. Okay, next, global coordination and market development. So they have also discussed about the global coordination and market development. Net zero requires a global cooperation in terms of technology, in terms of research and development support, in terms of skill development, because in the developed countries already things are in place. So definitely we can have that technology transfer from the global cooperation. We can get R&D support from major economies like United States. Then skill development, our employees need to get their skills updated in terms of green finance as well, right? So there is a requirement of global coordination for the market to be developed, right? Next is the shift needed from project level to systemic reform. So there should not be just the project level strategy, there should be a systemic reform. Entire system में change आना चाहिए. So policy stability, regulatory alignment and development of green project pipeline should be there, right? MDBs must include voices of the recipient countries and not just the donors. Innovative instruments like debt for climate swaps, climate resilient debt clauses, these should be already in place. And if we talk about conclusion, then financial leadership and call to action. Net zero transition is about finance, trust and solidarity. Okay, so net zero transition के अंदर ये तीनों चीजें involved होंगी, plus the finance professionals must lead in enabling the ecosystem, aligning with the net zero pathways of India, collaborating globally. Okay, so they have discussed about कि एक तो रोल IT का क्या होना चाहिए, why green finance is essential, collaboration क्यों जरूरी है globally, and RBI is committed via building a block approach, stakeholders consultation, bridging the climate data gaps and creating a robust regulatory system. So you can use these things from this particular speech in your descriptive questions as well, okay, in your descriptive answer writing as well, if anything comes up from the green finance topic, which is highly probable. So please download this particular PDF, read it very well so that you can use some of the terminologies, right? Urgent need for bold and financial actions like sustainable infrastructure, key to economic resilience and climate justice, right? So please do download this particular PDF and try to read each and everything here. There are key challenges which I have mentioned there. You can also be getting a question directly like what can be the key challenges in financing green infrastructure, what is green finance and what are the key challenges in financing the green infrastructure, and questions like these can be very, very important for your upcoming RBI Grade B examination. So thank you so much guys. This was the entire speech of the Deputy Governor. Okay, so please do download this PDF and try to use statements and ideas from these kind of speeches in your descriptive questions. Okay, thank you so much. Bye bye. See you in some other video.